I put the initial turn in my application. I was supposed to work the next day, and then like I called in immediately, like right before work. I called in and told I wasn't gonna make it because I came up with some excuse to not go to this fucking job and made it sound like it was hella serious. And he was just like, he goes, okay. He goes, but my mom ran over a baby. I can't make it to work. Like I forgot what the fuck I said to that guy. Fuck, you watch this. I went over to the Slurpee machine and I got a big ass red Slurpee. And I went back and I went like this. I caught you back. I was like, what'd you say about my mom? She goes.
This is testing out the fucking...
Testing 1 2.
Testing out the podcast.
Testing 1 2.
There's going to be Sweet Nothings with your host, Sugaman. Mostly probably going to have my buddy here. Fucking talking about some crazy shit. Whatever. Shit that we grew up doing. Shit that we fucking like talking about. Yeah.
Talking about life, man.
Fucking, yeah, random shit. Like fucking... I don't know. What'd you get into today?
I relaxed today. Recharged the batteries. Chilled. Slept in. Went and got some. I got the Hawaiian rolls with the barbecue pork. I made some sliders.
Oh shit! Little fucking.
Those
little pork sandwiches.
Yeah, I was walking to the store. Then, like halfway walking to the store, my buddy seen me walking, so he stopped and picked me up. And
that's tight.
Yeah, we got to the store, and then he told me about this chick who he pulled a couple nights ago or whatever. He goes, "You never gonna guess who I was fucking with?" And I was just like, it was the one chick that they got into a big ass fight a couple months ago. And they haven't fucking with each other. And I was just like,
and you just run into her.
I just, you know what I'm saying? Naturally, you know, somehow they start talking about something. He goes, "You know how I do." You know what I'm saying? I was just like, you know what I'm saying? When it gets to the store, I'm like, "No, you didn't." He's like, "Yeah, bro." Oh, fucking night one, bro. And I was just like, "You dirty dog." So let me get there to the store, get some food, go back to the house. I ate my sliders. And I just, by that time you had called me.
Okay.
So then I was kind of just waiting for you to get back to the house.
For sure. Yeah, today for me was just fucking work mostly. Fucking I woke up at like, what was it, 5:45 or something like that. Anyways, got to the job site at like 8:15. Did the inspection I needed to do. No one there seemed to know what the fuck was going on or what they were doing. I was like, "Hey, you got any plans for me to look at?" He's like, "Yeah, they're over there." I'm like, okay. I'm just like, usually like they'll go through them with me and like show me the section that I gotta look at. So obviously he's like, it's like we don't really have any plans for this because like it's like rebar and like epoxy inspection. So like they'll put rebar, like drill a hole into the side of like a floor or whatever. So like they'll cut it open like a little trench, and they had to do whatever they had to do, like put water lines in or whatever. And they have to refill it with concrete, so they have to put like new rebar in. So they had to like drill all new holes and put the rebar in. And I just got to be like, "Yeah, you're good." And then so they do that, and fucking yeah, it just seems like they didn't want me there like all day. They were just like, "Oh, so we only got you here for 4 hours, huh?" And I'm just like, I don't know who the fuck told you that. Like, you got me all day, like, because like we charge them for 4 hours no matter what. And if I go over it, then we charge them for another 4 hours. So.
Oh, so you just got to be there for 5?
So yeah, I had to be there for longer, but it's like it's not my fault, like because after the fucking inspection, I had to wait for the concrete to show up, which was supposed to show up at 11, but apparently their pump broke. Like the people working there, and they're like, "Well, we have to get a new pump," and we delayed the concrete, so it's not coming until 12.
Can we grab that fan out?
Anyways, that's when I after that I left, and like that's when I ran into that fucking dude who was just getting all fucking high feet. Yeah, who was just getting all mad. We're like about to get on the freeway, and like I had to get over, and I'm like in the left-hand turn lane, I guess, but I need to get in the left-hand turn lane because I got to get on the freeway. But I actually didn't have to. I thought I needed to be in the lane, so I just was like, I need to be in this lane. So I put on my blinker. First person doesn't let me go. Second person I didn't see, which happens to be this guy. I was like, oh shit. So like, I'm like half turned, but I'm not in the lane yet, and I see him. I was like, oh shit. So I like correct. I think it kind of pissed him off. So I was like, all right. And then like, I get right behind him, and then he's like trying to get over to the right, and like he's getting all pissed off because like no one's letting him over into the right. I'm like, you're getting mad at like what you were just doing to me. I'm like, bro, we could have just exchanged spots. Like we would have been cool.
Right, just committed.
Yeah, but like he gets so bad. He's just like the person in front of him didn't like the person he ends up getting behind. He like flips them off because like they wouldn't let him in, and then he flips me off because I'm sitting there just laughing at him. I'm like, bro, it's your fault. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. And that's when I was like, oh, I gotta get gas real quick and like grab some water because it was hella hot. And I like get like so we turn, and he gets in the right lane where he was trying to be, and then I was like, oh shit, I gotta get in the right lane too to get to the gas station. So I think he thought like I was following him, because then like he goes to the first gas station. I was gonna go there, but then like he pulls in and then he stops like just like in the middle of the drive, like the roadway or whatever. I'm just like, all right, this guy obviously has a problem, so I was just like, I'm just gonna avoid it. So I just went to the next gas station. And yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
it was so funny. I was just like, bro, you're not worth my time right now. Like,
no, you don't engage in the road rage, man.
Yeah,
I think that's probably a good
especially when I'm in a work truck.
Don't engage in road rage, because even when it is frustrating when someone cuts you off, but it goes both ways. You do make mistakes sometimes, and you don't see people sometimes.
Yeah,
and you do it just like other people do it to you.
Exactly, because I was technically in the wrong first, so I was like, whatever, dude. Like,
but 9 out of 10 times when you're in a vehicle going somewhere, like it's usually because you got somewhere you have to be, whether it's an appointment, work, pick up your kids, get something. It's usually something. It's usually something important, to where you should be in your vehicle. You're usually not just kind of.
But it's not
around.
that important to where you need to be mad all the time.
Well, it's like usually you're not driving around just because. So like if you were to engage in road rage or you were to get into an accident or something, you know what I mean? Like now you can't get to where you're getting to.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's not work or something that's important or getting to that, you know what I mean? Like somewhere where you have to be right now. So
yeah.
But people start engaging in the road rage, man, and they just go crazy, man. But I know how it feels.
Crazy.
But I do my best to just.
Fucking one of my old coworkers got a gun pulled out on him because he fucking honked at something.
Right.
Just for honking at him.
Bro, people be crazy, bro.
Fucking I'm like, all right.
So no, I think you made the right decision and went to the other gas station, bro.
Because even though he looked like a punk bitch, you never know.
Right.
Not saying I'm like super intimidating.
It's like there's a million gas stations, Yeah.
It just wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth the effort.
Right.
Like it was done. I was already laughing about the situation. He was still mad, so I was just like,
right. I'm not gonna engage in being confronted.
Because I'll just laugh at him, and he'll get even more mad. Like I don't know, I don't know what to do.
Right.
It was just funny. But yeah, that was pretty much my day. Just fucking concrete work and bullshit.
Who?
Like the new podcasts that come out nowadays, like, well, at least with YMH, like, because Tom, he like promotes everybody, like, he'll like put them on a podcast on his channel, and like all his producers and shit like help produce it. So like this girl Lauren Compton just started her podcast, and like all the editing was like fucking on point. Like they've got like segments. Like,
they got a team.
All the questions are like set up. Like it's fucking coordinated so well. Like seems like the podcast has been going on forever, and there's only 3 episodes or like 4 episodes. But yeah, it's hella funny. Every time fucking
question. What kind of questions about? Oh, because he has guests on the show.
Well, this girl specifically, she does like her thing's called First Date, so she'll ask them like first date questions, like just trying to get to know them, and then like by the end of it, she like lets them know if like all the red flags that popped up. She, like,
oh, okay.
So it's like a rating kind of system.
Right. Cousin was telling me that it wasn't like a first date question, but she like interviews people at her work to get hired. And one of the questions that she usually asks interviewees is, how do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Right? And the reason why is because she wants to see how detailed the answer is. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do first?
I grab the jelly, fucking slap the jelly on there, fucking put the peanut butter.
Because when she asked me, I was like,
I mean, you put it together, it's a fucking sandwich.
When she asked me, it kind of felt like not a trick question, but like I could tell she's specifically looking for something, you know, like.
Yeah.
And she's like, well,
it's such a simple question. It's like, there can't be a simple
right, but
answer.
then like the second time she asked, she goes, well, if you were going to write a book or something about
write instructions for it.
Right. Much. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I was like, first I'll get all the. Basically, I didn't have the right answer, but at the end of it, she goes, I just want to know how incredibly detailed you were when it came. So that's the point of asking that question.
It's
and
like
the way
how much
she tried to
pay attention to detail or whatever.
But the way she answered it was kind of like, she goes, first I walk to the cabinet, then I open the cabinet, then I grab the peanut butter, then I close the cabinet.
Like a fucking narrator.
Right, and I was just like, no, that's a little too much.
Too much instruction.
Like, no one's
Then I breathe. Then I wipe my ass.
Right.
Then I touch the bread. I'm like, oh shit.
I was like, because if that's the answer you were looking for, like you're trying to talk to a robot. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one is gonna be that detailed with.
Like if AI was telling you how to fucking make a sandwich.
I exhaled. I blinked my eyelids.
It felt great.
It's like, you know.
Like describing it felt wondrous as I poured the jelly onto the Wonder Bread.
Well, from different perceptions, just like it could also be kind of insulting. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm obviously not going to tell you I walked to the cabinet, opened up the cabinet. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone holds their ingredients in the same places. Obviously, you know what I mean. So
pretty much wanted you to talk to her like she's stupid.
Well, right? It's like, well, I'm not a fucking idiot, so I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Like, okay, so first you walk to the cabinet.
But when I opened the cabinet, there's a hint of pepper, so I had to sneeze, so I covered my nose and sneeze. It's like, no, I'm not going to go into all that. Like, I grabbed the fucking peanut butter, the jelly, the bread, and I put that mix together. You know what I'm saying?
How does anyone make a fucking sandwich?
So it's like, it's kind of, I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't a trick question, but you can tell it's like.
Where's that zapper, bro?
Right. I could tell that the way she was asking, she was looking for a complex answer, but with such a simple question. You know,
hold on. Front and center, he's getting it. Yeah, those kind of questions. It's like there has to be something more. Like it's always like a trick question,
right? So
it's like, what are you poking at?
Anyways,
yeah, like. Interviews are funny to me now. Like, I used to be super nervous. Like, sometimes I'll still get a little nervous, but like everyone always like, they're always like fucking. They act like, oh hey, hi. Like I don't do that. Like I just act how I act, and like people get super off put by it. And I can tell. Cause like I'm nice, but I'm not like, oh hi, let me suck your dick. You know,
right?
This is how I get the job. Like,
right.
No, like I'm just like, yeah, no, these are my qualifications, blah, blah. Like,
right, like, I need the job, hire me.
Yeah, like, I'm an adult. Like, you fucking either hire me or you don't.
Well, some people are looking for people that don't have any experience working, you know?
So they can mold them.
Well, that, but also, like, people who are inexperienced with working for certain people or companies, like, they don't know about labor laws, you know what I'm saying? So, like, these bosses kind of...
They bank on that.
They over what is it? What's that called? Micromanage. They micromanage them into the. They think that that's like the correct way you should be working at a workplace, you know. But because they never worked anywhere and this is their first couple of jobs, like they don't know any better.
Yeah.
So like a couple months ago, I almost got hired at this Ike's or not Ike's. What was it called? Something's. Or yeah, I think it was Ike's Sandwiches. Or, what is it called?
I've heard of that place, Ike's.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's Ike's Sandwiches, or like Ike's Sandwiches.
I don't think it was Ike's. It was like some kind of sandwich. I forget what it is. But
Johnny's.
When I remember, I'll tell you. But I was like, oh man, clean. I'm like a cool little sandwich shop. This perfect little job. Go and make some sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't be too hard. And when I showed up, the guy who ran the place was just like, everyone who he had in there, they were like fresh out of high school. You could tell this is their first couple of jobs. And he had them like, it was military based, like 10 hut. You would call them, like, the two people would show up and be like, they'd give him stat.
I'd be the guy coming out the back, what?
And he's kind of just sitting there, just like, yeah, I'm about my business. Just like, I'm like, hey man, you're fucking making sandwiches. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, but that just because it doesn't matter what you do, it's how you do it. Obviously, you know, the place was really clean.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was taken care of very well, but I could tell it's just like, man, you do not want to work.
Some people just let power go to the head.
Right, you don't want to work for somebody like this. So.
I want to control this whole place. It's like, all right, dude, you're just a manager.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I didn't get a call back.
Yeah, I didn't get a call back.
Well, because it's like, that's what he wanted. He wanted somebody to brown nose his ass because that's what everyone was doing in there, you know? Like,
yeah, like, I almost worked for Costco again because they called me in for an interview and they were just like asking me this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, what did you do to prepare for this job? And I was just like, I almost wanted to be a smart ass because I was like, worked for Costco for 2 years? Like, the fuck? I already told you that. Like, what the fuck do you mean what I do to prepare for this interview? Like,
I smoked 2 bowls before I showed up.
yeah, like, fucking smoke some weed, wash my, like,
Right.
and then they were like, oh, we can only offer you, like, I forgot what I actually said, but they were like, because, like, I took a second, and they're like, oh, we thought we were going to say nothing, because that would have been bad. And I'm like, would it have? Like, I already told you I worked for this place for 2 years. Like, I don't know, it's just dumb. And then, like, oh, we can only start you out at part-time. It's like, no. Like, they were, like, trying to finesse it. Like, well, if we have the hours, we can give you more. Like, no.
You have the hours, Costco.
Yeah, I was like, you can hire me full-time
You
right
have
now.
400,000 million employees.
I was like, you can hire me full-time right now. Give me the chance. And if I don't work out within, like, 2 weeks.
There's 400 employees here. Someone's here fucking up.
Yeah, and I was like, and I'm probably the only one who's not gonna fucking complain about doing all the shit. Like, I'm used to it. Like,
yeah, no,
put me anywhere.
I wouldn't work at Costco.
And like, it's a cool place to work, but like, they don't really give a fuck about you. Like, they can just find someone else. So it's just like, bro, like, no, I'm not working part time for less money. At that, like, I start out less and I have less hours. Like, you're tripping. Like, I've been working for so long. Like, I know my worth. Like.
That's what I mean by certain bosses like want certain people to work for them, but that don't have any experience working. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So because they can pull little, not loose, but like.
Well, because that shit's happened to you or me probably back in the day when we were fresh out. Like,
well, even like a year or two ago, like I was gonna get hired at Domino's. To be serving pizzas was like. I've already been working hella jobs before, and I really wasn't too serious about the job, but I just need a little extra money.
They almost hired me too. I forgot.
Right, so like I got the interview, and I went to the interview, and I go in there, and the dude was cool, and I could tell everyone in there was like not the same thing, but everyone there was like everyone that was working there was like 17, 18, you know what I mean, 19, 20, like fresh out of high school, and you know. And when I go in there, aced it, because, you know, me and my pops working in the kitchen forever. So, like, everything I was talking to him with, it was just, everything was going really smooth. You know, like, dude was really cool. He was really upfront. He was keeping it real with everything. And then...
Had most answers to, like, everything he asked, probably.
It was like we were seeing eye to eye on shit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when you come in, this dude didn't seem like a fucking asshole. Like, it was cool. You know what I mean? Hey, I'll ask, show up. Don't make a commitment, and then fucking no call, no shows, or be showing up late all the fucking time. Like that's his biggest issue that he was kind of telling me. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
I wish it would just stay on.
So as we were moving forward with the interview, because we did a phone interview, and then so he called me, and like as we're doing the interview at the Domino's, going around just checking everything out. Everything's cool. He's like, okay, well, I'm just going to give you the application, fill out the application, and then, you know, just tell me when you're done. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm filling everything out, right? And on the second page, it said like one paragraph that was in this paperwork was just, I didn't understand it because it was saying something on the lines of like, you can be terminated at any time for any reason or something like that. Like I don't remember word for word what it was, but that's what I was kind of getting at. You know what I'm saying? Like when I read this paragraph, it was like confusing and it sounded like
something
I could just be fired just for any fucking reason. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like kind of held off on initialing right there, like finished the rest of the application, and then when I went and told dude I'm done, he like goes through it. He goes, okay, well what happened right there? I was like, well I kind of wanted to ask you, what does this mean? Do you know what I'm saying? He goes. And then he gave me the answer I wasn't looking for. Like, he goes, oh, it's just part of it. And I was like, no, because this...
He's bullshitting you.
Right. I was like, cause this is bullshit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. You can't just be fired for any time unless you sign it.
Unless he was either bullshitting you because he didn't want to tell you, or because he doesn't even know.
Well, it's like usually when you come in, most people don't want to fill out any fucking paperwork, and if it's has all these paragraphs you have to initial 30 times throughout this little packet. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, it all kind of looks like the same copy paste. Like
bro, sorry, go ahead.
But do you know what I'm talking about? Like initial right here. Here's
signature.
Emergency contacts. Like it's pretty much all the same thing, but like in this one little spot where you had to initials. Like that didn't seem weird. For the most part, like most people would just sign over it and get over it.
Yeah.
And as long as you sign it and give it to him, like you feel me? Now that you've signed it, he can't do it.
Bro, so fucking recently. So this was during like fucking 2019 or 2020. After the whole shit happened, you know, and I'm trying to get jobs, so I'm like going out, applying and whatnot, and I had to go do a drug test and like go to this fucking urgent care and then make me fill out paperwork and like signing shit. And I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, like I agree to like pretty much agree. I can't remember the wording, but it was like me agreeing to fucking get a COVID shot. And I'm like, no, I don't want.
Right, but you kind of just skimmed through the paperwork and signed it.
I didn't sign it yet. And like I gave it back and she's like, why didn't you sign it? I was like, because I don't want to. I don't want the vaccination. I was like, I don't want it. I was like, I'm here for a fucking drug test. Just fucking take my piss. Like, and she wouldn't do it unless I signed it. So like, this is record. I don't want a fucking vaccine. Don't give that shit to me involuntarily. If I'm unconscious at the hospital, fuck you guys. Because, like, that shit, like, because I signed it. They're like, well, you signed it. And it's like, I was drunk when I signed it. That's not.
Right.
I was on PCP. I can't be held accountable for that. They're like, are you high right now? Of course I am.
But anyways, I told the guy, when I asked him what was that, he kind of just, it's nothing. I was like, really? Because it sounds like. And then he read over it and he goes, then he gave me like this fucking answer where he kind of like went like this with this, you know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
He's like, it's nothing. You know what I mean? I was just like, well, it kind of looks like something, yeah.
It's just
it doesn't look like a nothing to me, you know? Like,
what's a little gonorrhea? It's nothing, man.
So yeah.
He's like, what happened to being just a cool guy?
So I ended up turning in my application. I put the initial turn in my application. I was supposed to work the next day. And then like I called in immediately. Like right before work I called in and told her I wasn't gonna make it because like I came up with some excuse to not go to this fucking job and made it sound like it was hella serious. And he was he goes, okay. He goes, but I put you on the schedule, so make sure you show up. And I just never showed up to the job.
Yeah, because like, what are you gonna do? That's so funny. My mom ran over a baby. I can't make it to work.
Like I forgot what the fuck I said to that guy, but it was like I said something. Bro. And then I made it. What was funny is Nay was at the house, right? And then Nay took off in my car that morning, and she didn't come back in time. So I made it sound like she was the reason why I was late and lost my job that day.
Like you could, like the lie's only for the fucking people.
So I blamed the fuck out of her, right?
Like she doesn't even need to know that you lied. Like, but you're bringing her into it to like capitalize on the lie.
Well, she had took off of my car for way longer than she was supposed to take off of my car.
So you're like, I need to get.
She was just like, hey, I just need to get my partner ride home, blah 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 blah, whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I knew she was gonna take a little bit longer, but she was like 4 or 5 hours late. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I knew she was gonna take at least 2 hours.
But like the fact that you're like,
because she was going to Modesto and back, bro. But like I used it perfect opportunity to just be like, bitch, I lost my motherfucking job because you're stupid.
I had to fucking call into work today because of you. This shit's so
like I'm on fire, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of knew that I was using that type because. You know, I was like, yeah, I got a new job at Domino's, everybody.
Fucking Domino's.
And they're like, man, great job, you know. Then also I lost it. It was just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? You know what I'm saying? So my cousin paid for that ticket that I was.
How am I supposed to go to work without a fucking car?
Yeah, so.
That's so funny.
So I ended up finessing her ass to pay that motherfucking ticket.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? No, but how funny is that?
That's so funny. Like, you're already cool with losing your job. She gets home, you're like, how dare you? It's all your fault.
Everyone's like, what happened with your job? I'm like, this bitch.
Well, for this dumb bitch.
Bro, I can call her up right now and find out some more, bro. And she would go right along with it.
Oh my god, that's so fucking
She'd probably
funny.
just hang up like, I'm not listening to this. Yeah, fuck you.
Fuck you. Oh, dude. Oh, so tell about the fucking, the red slushy story.
Oh, man.
That was a good story.
So,
Start with the Amazon driver.
Yeah, no, I'll start from the beginning. I wanted to get some nachos, right? But my favorite spot where I go get some nachos at, I've been going there for years. And
is it like one of those like dispenser nachos things or whatever?
No, it's one of those like little Mexican markets, and then there's a taqueria inside the market.
Oh, tight.
It's called El Rancho.
Okay.
It's on Redwood and Grove.
Okay.
And I mean, that's considered Castro Valley. I guess. Well, it's Hayward.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah. Anyways, but I go in there, and if you know El Rancho, you know that when you pull into this parking lot, it's a one-way parking lot.
Okay.
But there's 2 parking spaces. Do you know what I'm saying? So when you pull into this parking lot, you have to pull all the way to the end to get through it and back out to the street or go behind the building.
Okay.
But like all through down the road, there's like 20 spots where you can park at. Do you know what I'm saying? So like there's enough parking, but usually it gets full during the day.
Yeah.
But it's a one-way. So anyway, so I pull in there to get some nachos. But the last time when I ordered nachos, like a week before or a few days before, I forget, the guy was in there, he goes, you know, you never order meat on your nachos. And I was just like, well, so the next time I came in, like he was working, so I felt like I had to order some chips. You know what I'm saying?
Like, try it out.
Like, all right, well, because I just prefer it without.
Just tell him I prefer it without.
So
he felt the peer pressure. Like, oh.
No, but I was like, just once in a while, you know, I was like, all right, so let me get. So I ordered the nachos with grilled chicken, but I only had cash. I only brought cash with me, and usually it's under $10 without the chicken, without the meat. And this time it was like $14. I was like, damn,
like $5.
Right? It was like hella. It was hella more, bro, for the meat. Fine, whatever. So I'm like, okay, I went to go back out to my car to like look for some change or like a couple extra dollars, and I only had a few extra dollars. Like I didn't have enough to pay for this shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, hold on, I'm gonna go get some more money. So I go back in there and tell him like, hey, I'm gonna get some more money. Like I'll be back in a minute. And as I go to walk out, like there's a Amazon truck blocking the intersection or the parking lot because it's a one-way.
Okay, I thought he was blocking your house. Like
No.
Trying to get home.
No, he's parking. Like I'm trying to get out to go get some more money to pay for my food.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
But like he comes and pulls in behind me, and I can't pull out because he's like trying to drop off this package to that market.
Okay.
But he can't get like his scanner to scan the thing, so he's struggling with the package, right? And I walk out and I'm like, man, who's fucking Amazon trucking this shit, right? And I'm like. And I kind of stand there, what the fuck? And there's like hella people blocks, you know, like they're all the way out to the street. There's like 4 or 5 cars, like they're blocking, they're blocking traffic out by the light now because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's causing a lot of traffic. So I'm like, man, I come in, I was like, hey man, you gotta move this truck. And it was this kid. He must have been like 19 or 20.
It's always a kid for.
Well, I mean, to me, he's a kid, but he was like 19 or 20. And
those are kids,
right? He was young. And I was like, hey, man, you can't park this truck here. He goes, where am I supposed to park it at? And I was like, I don't know, but you can't park it here. And he goes, man, or I forget what he said, but he kind of like did like shrug me off, you know?
Give us a wave.
And I was like, hey, man, check it out. I was all, you can move this truck or I'll move it for you. Because I used to work for Amazon. Yeah. So I know how to drive. I was like, you can move this truck or I'll move it for you. And he goes, man, he tries to like blow me off again. I was like, hey, man, all right, fuck you then. So I walked out there. I just jumped right in the truck. And I'm not gonna lie, this new truck, I had no idea how to put it in drive, right? So
I know how to drive your truck.
I have no idea how to put it in drive, right? So I go to hop in, and I'm like, bro, well, when I hop in the truck, I thought it was just gonna be real simple to like put it in drive.
Yeah.
But it was like some weird nozzle or
fucking knob just.
So I was like, man, I was looking for the parking brake, so I took off the parking brake, and it's like starting to roll a little bit, and I was like, all right, cool. And good enough for me, you know what I'm saying? As long as it moves, motherfucker. So it starts to roll, right? And the dude comes out and he like opens the door. He's like, man, you don't even know how to drive. And I was like, I told you I was gonna move this motherfucking truck. And he's like, get out of the truck. And I was like, fuck it. So I hopped out of the truck. Like, that's pretty much what I was doing at first. He was like trying to get me out, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to tell you, motherfucker. And so I jumped out of the car and it was still rolling. Like I thought it was gonna hit something because it's such a narrow parking lot, you know. Like, but it rolled straight enough for him to get into it and not hit anything.
That's so funny,
right? But I was like, hey man, fuck. But there was this black Impala behind that Amazon truck. So which they watched everything, right? Yeah. I have no idea who it was. But then like as I got out of the Amazon truck, I hopped back in my car and I wanted to go get some more money. So I wanted to go back to the house, but I was out of gas.
So where'd the red slushie come into play?
I was out of gas, so I had to go to the gas station.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Right? So before I could go home and get more money, now I have to put some money in gas to go back home.
So you just stop at another gas station?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So I go to the gas station. Mind you, it's pissing rain outside.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's pissing rain outside.
That dumb bitch was.
Right. So I go to the gas station, right? And I get to the gas station to go put some gas in, and I pull up to the pump. And it was parked on the all the other pumps were taken. It was parked on the very far side of the cashier. So I had to run in through the rain.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, can I let me get 20 on pump 12 or whatever it was, right? And the lady goes, oh, that pump not working. And I was all, what you mean not working? She goes, oh, that pump not working. I'm sorry. And I was like, I'm hella mad. Like, what the fuck do you mean? I was like, there's no caution tape or that sign.
Out of order thing.
Out of order anything. I was like, it looks fine to me. She went like this. She goes, just go park at a different pump, right? And she did the fucking hand thing to me, and I was already so pissed off, bro.
What the fuck? Break your hand, bitch.
And I was like, hey, bitch, fuck that shit. What the fuck? I'm not finna go move my shit. I was like, you need to go do your motherfucking job. I ain't throwing no fucking sign. I was just cussing this girl out, man.
Oh my God.
I had no business cussing this lady out, but I was cussing her. I was cussing her the fuck out. It was not happening.
It's just like one thing on top of a fucking another.
Right, and she's like, then she starts to cuss back at me like, she goes, your mama. And I was like, oh, my mama, bitch? You want to talk about my mama? I was like, all right, bitch, fuck you. Watch this. I went over to the Slurpee machine, and I got a big-ass red Slurpee. Uh-huh. And I went back, and I went like this. I caught you back. I was like, what'd you say about my mama? She goes, do it. And I was thought about it, and I was like, I'm not finna throw a fucking Slurpee at this. I was like, hey, bitch, can I just buy this motherfucking Slurpee and pay for my goddamn gas? And she was like, no. And I was like, what you mean no? I was like, I can't make change in this and buy. She goes, nope, can't do it. And I go, okay. So the other cashier, I was like, hey, can I just pay for this and pay for my gas to the fuck out of here? And she goes, yeah, sure. And then after the lady told me no, she was next in line. So the person, I was like, bitch, you fucking lied to me. You could make change. I was like, I really ended up throwing this fucking association now. She goes, why are you doing this to me? I go, why am I doing this to you? I was like, bitch, because you need to do your fucking job. I was like, if you don't want to run out there and put a fucking do not work sign on the fucking gas pump.
Makes you think I want to fucking do that shit.
What makes you think, I'm a paying customer here at this business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Even though it's not your business or your gas station, you're at work on the clock. Do you know what I'm saying? So because you want to sit in here and be lazy, I got to run twice as much out in the pissing rain. That's bad business.
Yeah.
So even though I overreacted and I cussed her the fuck out, it's not that I was in the right and wrong. Bitch, if you would have just did your motherfucking job instead of just sit here and try to steal company time, do you know what I'm saying?
Could have been avoided.
Nigga, you act like walking out there for 2 seconds and putting that sign on you would have melted or something. You've obviously been here for fucking hours. Do you know what I'm saying? Both of you who work in here are out of pocket for not doing that.
Right.
That's your responsibility.
You knew it was broken.
It's your responsibility to go do that. You know what I'm saying? But most people are just go move it. But it's not today, bitch.
Nah. It's what the fuck takes you...
Not today. And then
30 seconds to go out there.
And then even after I overreacted, you were even more unprofessional, and you said your mama to a customer, bro.
Well, that's
you gonna talk about my
A-word for you.
That's what But anyways.
No, but honestly, that's just anyone for you.
So anyway, she doesn't let me pay for my shit. She makes me go to the next cashier and then takes the next person in line. So now I'm hella mad, nah, fuck you, go do your job. She goes, she tries to tell me to just leave or something, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, bitch? And I fucking just, instead of throwing it at her, I just threw it all over the fucking ground in front of everywhere. You'd have to like walk right there to pay.
Yeah.
And I was all, now clean that fucking shit up. Because ain't nobody else gonna be able to pay for shit unless you clean up that shit. Uh-huh. So she had to like get up, move around the corner, and clean all the fucking Slurpee everywhere,
she did
right?
Something.
Right? Because I'm like, bitch, fuck you gonna do all that shit.
Is that when it splashed on you or what?
No. I went back and got another Slurpee. Because that one fell out of my hand, you know what I'm saying? So I get another Slurpee. And I'm walking out and I'm like, yeah, fuck that bitch. You know what I mean? Like,
that's so
right?
funny.
And I go sit in my car, pay for or put my gas in, right? And as I'm going to go leave, because I'm hot, I'm like, I go to skirt out. And because I skirted out and hit a left, the Slurpee goes, psh, and fucking crashes all over right here, all over. And I'm like, fuck, man, I got Slurpee. It's red Slurpee all everywhere, all over, like, all over my seat, all over the corner, everything. It's like, from here to all the way down, I'm covered in Slurpee. So I'm like, fuck, man, god damn it. And it's like, karma, like, hey, you shouldn't
can't get my nachos, can't fucking also that rain, I can't get any fucking gas, got fucking red Slurpee up.
Now I got Slurpee everywhere because it's like basically God was just like, hey, you shouldn't have been a motherfucker to her, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like, you know what I mean? So now I'm covered in fucking Slurpee, and like, so I go to pull behind the gas station so I can clean this fucking Slurpee shit off, right? And that black Impala that was behind the Amazon truck comes up and honks, beep beep. And I'm like, I didn't know who it was at first. I'm like, oh man, someone saw me being a motherfucker, that fucking cashier, and they're gonna want to say something. I'm like, yeah. So I bounced out the car like, yeah, what's up? I bounced out the car like, what's up? And it was this chick. She had her head out the window. She's like, hey motherfucker, you hella crazy. And I was just like, who, me? Like, I was just like, who, me? And she was just like, yeah, you motherfucking get shot. I was just like, oh, you know. I was putting the moves on you.
Batting your eyes, oh, you know.
I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? All day. Every day.
Get that dirt off my shoulders real quick.
You know what I mean? I started spitting my shit to her. She was just like, yeah, you hella manny, and I just want to let you know you was looking good out there doing your fucking thing. I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to a real one, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's up? What you doing? She's like, oh, I'm about to go drop off my son. I was like, well, damn.
So he's in the car.
He was in the car right there the whole time. Well, he was a grown ass. It looked like a grown ass nigga, but I guess he was like 14. But this motherfucker was like 6 feet already, bro. Like huge, bro.
Born under a fucking power line or something.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he had a hoodie and everything on, so he was cutted up. So, but it was a fully grown person in that passenger seat.
Still her son,
but I mean, she made it sound like her son was fucking 10 years old. So
go drop him off at daycare.
But so yeah.
So okay. This is all during the day, is it not?
This is all at like
or at night.
Probably like 2:30, 3 in the afternoon. Bro.
Okay, so for some reason I pictured it at nighttime.
It's just raining like a motherfucker, so it's hella overcast.
So yeah. Okay.
So it's not dark, but it's hella overcast.
It's definitely not light out.
Not light out, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so but then after I got her number, you know what I'm saying? Like got back in the car, and then after she had did that, it was just that's all I needed, bro. I was like completely cool after that. I was just so hot.
Some sort of validation.
Well, it's just like some, you know what I mean? Some chick was just like, hey, motherfucker, keep doing your motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Because like, who the fuck doesn't ever think that? Like, Amazon drivers park wherever the fuck they want.
Well, basically what she was saying is she didn't really hear what I was saying, but when she was sitting behind the Amazon truck watching me, my body language was basically like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, motherfucker, I'm not playing with you. You know what I'm saying? Because this kid was just like, man, I don't give a fuck. Like, check it out, bro. I'm not on the clock, and I don't give a fuck way more than you. You don't want to see me not give a fuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't say that, but she was like, the way she described, she was like, I could tell you was just, you know, you was just putting it down for us out there. You know what I mean? She thought I was doing all that, which I kind of was, but not specifically for her. But I was, at the same time, like, hey, bro, like,
I was like, you did that for the community.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you did that for all that loud stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all the little people out there.
She was just, you know what I mean, jocking around. She was on me, boy. And I was liking it. You know what I'm saying? It felt good. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah.
Someone who you've never met before was just like, hey, you fucking hella cool.
I like your fucking style.
You cool as fuck. Fuck these people out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you stood up you didn't just stand up for yourself right there. You stood up for all of us. You know what I mean? And that's some cool shit. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, so.
Because that not only affects you, that affects everyone in the fucking street trying to pull in, and you're like, bro, you can't fucking be here. Like,
well, she called me. She called me back later, probably like a few weeks later, and she was telling me like the reason why she called me back was because her son was just so like. She was like, Mom, she was all, because I guess his dad is in prison and shit. Like he was a gang member or whatever.
Not a very good role model.
Well, I mean, that's been his male figure the whole time. You know what I mean? You know me, how I do, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't be gangbang like that. So
No, yeah. You're just a real ass motherfucker.
Right. I'm a player. You know what I mean? So, and but when she called me back, she was just like, her son was really like someone who he wanted to look up to. Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? The way how she was telling me, the way he was asking the questions she was asking. She was like, man, who the fuck is that? Is that, you know what I mean? She was just like, oh man, that's how you want to be like someone like that.
Dude, I'm gonna kill this fly.
Right. So that's why she called me back. I ended up going back and kicking with her, but she ended up being a weirdo. So.
Yeah, I mean, most of them are, but that's fucking funny, dude.
But yeah,
that's a funny ass story, dude.
Yeah.
A fucking like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. You're like. And then you came back to get the nachos, didn't you?
Yeah. After I got her number, I bounced back, went and got some more. I got the gas, went back and got the money for it, and then I showed up to get my nachos.
Just covered in Slurpee.
No, I changed.
Oh, you went back? Okay.
When I got home, I got the money. Yeah.
That's so funny.
I mean, did I? I don't know if I did or not. To be honest,
that would have been funny. Like he's like, what the fuck did you go through to get some money?
You don't want to know.
Right? Like, just murdered someone for $5.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, when I get there to get my nachos, I'm looking at this nigga like, bruh, this is why I don't order no motherfucking meat on my shit.
Right? Like, hey, this is your fault.
No, I'm dead ass serious, bro. That's the only thing like, nigga, if I would have just ordered my regular order of nachos, order, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would have never had to go through all this fucking bullshit, nigga. Like, you feel me?
So you're like, long story short, I don't get meat with my nachos.
That's how I don't even know meat on my motherfucking nachos. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Or keep $20 on you if you're gonna do that.
Well, it's like that's my spot that I always go to, so I know exactly what the price is.
But you changed it up because he tried to change it up on you.
Well, I'm just like, you know what? You're right, bro. I'll never get meat on my shit. Maybe I should get some meat sometime, bro.
That's fucking hilarious. It's like the fucking.
But it's like the butterfly effect and chain of events that happen just because I wanted to get some. The one day I want to get fucking chicken on my nachos. That's like
pouring ass rain.
Right. It just was not the day.
But honestly, if you just would have waited like 5 minutes for the Amazon driver to move, like it would have been cool.
Right. But I'm not there to wait.
No, I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But for sure, like he was wrong. But like at the same time, like fuck that, like yeah,
right.
You're like, but it is the meat guy's fault for sure. We're blaming it on him.
Well, I am.
I mean,
no, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just like, this is why I don't order meat on the nachos.
You know? You're like, I'm blaming fate. Like, that's why I don't order meat on nachos because this kind of shit happens.
Right, bro. It's just that's the type of shit you're gonna have to deal with when you ordering them chicken on your nachos. Man.
I think you should have got carne asada. That's why.
Carne.
That's why. I mean,
sad.
Who are you kidding? Shit's bomb. No, but I think that was good enough story for our first tester. Hopefully the audio is good. It looks like it's been like three quarters of the volume level, so it's a little light flickering out for a little bit. That was weird. But that was a good story. We gotta next time I gotta tell you a story. But I think this is gonna be mostly like it's just gonna be bullshit. So
I got some good ass stories, bro.
Oh, I know you do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was fucking yeah. For next time. That was Sweet Nothings with your host Sugaman.